today we'll do a question answer session, and as usual we'll do a complete review of Ashtavakra 1 through 24. So let's begin with Ashtavakra 1. So how does Ashtavakra 1 begin?
Bondages.
Perfect, bondage. But what is Janaka's question?
How to get out of bondage.
How to become free. Yeah? Janaka has realized that there is some bondage. I have everything. I am a king. I have the kingdom. Yeah, I have the money I want. I have the women I want. I have everything. The power, name, fame, you name it. And Janaka has it. But still there is something lacking. Yeah? And what is that? Janaka wants to know. Yeah, there is some bondage. And that bondage is not, letting me be free from within. From within, I am feeling chained, I am feeling tied. So what is that? Yeah, that is Janaka's question. Now, you have been doing this for a little less than a year, right? Yeah. Have you started feeling the bondage? Ask yourself, are you still lost in people, situations and things, or have you started feeling from within, no, all this is bondage? Yeah? Ask yourself. Throughout this review, all the questions are for you. You look within. Yeah? Am I still lost in the moha maya of this beautiful person, whoever it is in your life? Maybe your mother or father, maybe your brother or sister, your husband or wife, your own child, or a friend or colleague. Are you still lost in the maya of a person? Is it still gripping on you? Are you still lost in its clutches? Or are you free? Are you understanding bondage? Yeah. Being lost in the clutches of the attachment with a person is bondage. Now, not just a person, it could be a situation. I want to be famous. I want to be rich. Yeah, I want to have financial freedom. Any situation that you are craving for in the mind, that is gripping you, that has taken your freedom away. You have become a slave to that. Are you seeing this? Yeah, because of your thirst for that situation, you have become dependent on the objects in that situation. Yeah, you're not self-reliant anymore. You're not free anymore. Yeah, same with things. Some people are so lost in their little possessions. Oh, their house. Or their car. Some people are lost in these things. Yeah? So recognize this. Ashtavakra 1 is recognition, is a knock on the door. Knock, knock. Yeah? Is there still bondage? Am I still lost in people, situations and things? Yeah? That is Ashtavakra 1. People, situations and things. And what is there? If I am lost in them, either I am lost in raga or dvesha. I like or I dislike. It's the bottom line. Yeah? Now, first recognition has happened to Janaka. Yes, I am lost in people, situations and things. I am lost in the raga and dvesha of people, situations and things. Now, how do I get out of this? Ashtavakra gives him 5 principles. What are they? One.
Forgiveness, sincerity, and also truth.
Perfect. Kshama, forgiveness. Yeah. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for whatever bondages you were lost in. Of people, situations and things. Mind starts getting on a guilt trip, no? So he says, forgive. Kshama. Not just me, but other people also. Yeah. First, kshama. Forgiveness. Second, how is this forgiveness to be?
Sincere.
With sincerity. Yeah. I can forgive today and again commit the same thing tomorrow. Then I'm not sincere. Yeah. So, with sincerity. Third, daya, compassion. I should not keep beating myself, yeah, or beating another person up. Yeah. Daya. Compassion in the heart. Not pity. Pity means I look down upon you, I condemn you, I think you are less and I am more. This is pity. Yeah? Pity brings that difference between I and you. Compassion brings us together. I could have been in his or her shoes. This is compassion. What is pity? Oh, you poor thing. I see the difference. Yeah? So third is compassion, daya. Fourth,
Contentment.
contentment. Yeah. Tosha. Yeah. How much is this mind going to keep running? Recognize this. Yeah. It is a bottomless pot. It is a pot which does not have a bottom. Whatever I put from the top is going to come out from the bottom, no? Yeah. It's never going to be full. Yeah. So, running after these people, situations and things is not going to bring me contentment. Yeah. I am content. I am peace. I am joy. I recognize this and then I do everything that is required with these people, situations and things. Whatever action I have to take, I take. Yeah. And what is the last one? The fifth principle? Satyam. Truth. Yeah, what is the truth? That everything is changing. Everything is temporary. Nothing is permanent. Yeah? So let me not get lost in this person that is temporary. Let me not get lost in this situation that is temporary. And let me not get lost in this thing that is temporary. Yeah? Waking up. Yeah? The day you wake up to this, you are established in the truth. Yeah? If you are lost in people, situations and things, then you have not woken up yet. You're still fast asleep. Yeah? You're living this life unconsciously. Yeah? So recognize this. Wake up. This is Ashtavakra 2, the 5 principles. Yeah? From there, he moved on to Ashtavakra 3. What is Ashtavakra 3?
Secret of Presence.
The first part, if I am lost in a person or a situation or a thing, I have a habit pattern with this person, situation and thing. You remember habit patterns? Yeah? With a thing, for example, I keep drinking coffee. This is my habit pattern with a thing. With a situation, I keep getting angry for the same thing. Keep things in the right place. Yeah? This is habit pattern with a situation. Yeah? And habit pattern with the third one, a person. Yeah? I behave in the same way with this person. Yeah? Again and again I will repeat the same thing. Are you noticing this? Yes. I have developed a habit pattern in my behavior with this particular person. And that habit pattern has to do with that person, huh? It doesn't have to do with me. Because in the same situation, I behave a little differently with person B. And in the same situation, I'd behave a little differently with person C. Are you seeing this? Habit pattern. Yeah. So recognize your habit pattern, he said. And how are these habit patterns formed? Through the 5 senses. This is how he linked Ashtavakra 2 to Ashtavakra 3. Got it? Clear? Ashtavakra 3 is the secret of the elements. So now these 5, sight, sound, taste, touch and smell. These 5 senses are related to the 5 elements. Sight is related to fire element. Yeah? Sight is actually light. If there is no light, I will not be able to see. Yes? Similarly, sound needs ether. Yeah? Touch needs air. Yeah? Taste needs water, saliva in your mouth. Yeah? Smell needs the earth element. So these are all connected. Yes? So the 5 senses are related to the 5 elements. Yeah? These 5 elements rule this entire universe. They rule it. This entire universe is made up of these 5 elements in different permutations and combinations. Whether it is an animal, a plant, a non-living object like the whiteboard, or a living human being. Everything is a combination of the 5 elements. They are in different proportions and all, but they are there in everything. Yes? Now, these elements can suddenly dominate. Fire can go up. Heat can increase. That in the climate shows up as summer. Right now, fire element is higher than it was few months ago when you started Ashtavakra. Yes? So are you seeing how it's dominating everything? It's not only in the climate, it's in that tree which is growing. That is why, because of the fire element, green leaves came out. Yeah? It is in those insects that come or take birth in summer because of the heat, or in spring they start actually taking birth. Yeah? So fire element has its different way of manifestation in this entire nature, and not just in this nature, in this body. Yeah? 3, 4 months, 5 months of winter and snow, your fire element was very low. And how did it affect you? Yeah? Your body had become dull and lethargic. Yeah? A lot of people put on extra health. How many of you really put on health? Tell me. Isn't it? Because the fire element had gone down. Yes? Now suddenly fire element has started coming up because it is nature. In spring it starts coming up. Then see how you become active. Everybody is out on the street suddenly. 6 months nobody was out on that street. You didn't see a single soul. And suddenly everybody is out. Yeah? Fire element. Are you seeing this? One little element can affect the surroundings, can affect nature, can affect people, can affect your mind. Yeah? Fire comes up within you. Yeah? There is jealousy, there is anger, there is hatred. Yeah? Fire not only comes in this body, even in the mind, at the emotional level it comes up. Now I just gave you one example just to refresh your memory. Yes, like that only all other elements work. Yeah? Water element increases in you, there's a flowing feeling, yeah? A happy feeling. Yeah? When air element increases in you, you want to run away. Yeah? You cannot sit in one place. You are very restless, or you are sitting and you are constantly moving like this. This is air element dominating. Yeah? The mind is jumping from one topic to another. office, at work, you cannot stick to one job that has been given to you. You keep switching between emails. You are not completing one job. Air element is dominating. Yes, like that. These 5 elements increase and decrease. Increase and decrease. Yeah. I feel I got angry, but it was the effect of this fire element. Yeah. I feel that, oh, I ran away from Ashtavakra session. I am so bad. I start beating myself up. But that time, air element was dominating. Yes. So then where am I? Where is my role? When fire can make me do something, air can make me do something, I just do not exist. I am not the doer. Ashtavakra number 4. Yeah. So beautifully, see, Ashtavakra has brought you to that point. What doership you have. I did this. If I didn't do, how would I become a doctor, an engineer, whatever? Yeah. This big doership comes up, no, in us? Yeah. So beautifully Ashtavakra brings us there. He says, everything is the play of this elements. Everything. You are not there only. So drop this doership. Yeah. Everything is happening on account of karma. Yeah. Niyati is like a flowing river. You just flow with it. Yeah. Or it is like the wind. And you just become that kite that goes in the direction of the wind. Don't try to go against the wind. Yeah. You are going to go down. Yes. If you want to really stay up in the sky, just keep flying in the direction of the wind. You don't even have to fly really. The wind is really taking you. Drop this doership that I am flying. If the kite starts screaming, I am flying, it's so funny, no? Yeah, that is what we are doing. Yeah? The wind is propelling that kite in that particular direction. Karma or niyati is propelling you in a particular direction. The elements are propelling you in a particular direction. Everything is happening. Drop this doership. I. When you drop this doership, you recognize that there is something within me that is beyond this I and mine that I was hooking onto. Yeah. That quietness, that solitude, yeah, that peace that is within, that does not change. Yeah. This external I and mind, till the time I'm lost in people, situations and things, it changes. Yeah, I say I and my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my husband, my wife. This mindness grips me, makes me feverish. When he or she behaves nicely with me, I am happy. He or she behaves badly with me, I am sad. So all my ragas and dveshas, everything takes me away from the center, from that peace. The moment I drop this I and mine, I am established in this peace. Are you seeing this? Yeah. This peace was always there. It didn't go anywhere. Yeah. But I forgot about this peace and got attracted to the external. He says, you are not the doer. Drop this I and mine. The moment I drop this I and mine, I become aware of this peace, this centeredness within. Yeah. And this changelessness is the same as that fountain of joy. Yeah. That is Ashtavakra number 6. Yeah. He says when you become established in that, you recognize that you are free from this. Till the time you are lost in this I and mine, you will not have freedom. So Ashtavakra number 5 is, you are free right now. Drop this I and mine. The moment the I and mine drops, you experience this fountain of joy. You get established in this changelessness. That's Ashtavakra number 6. I did 5 and 6 together. Yeah. The moment you get established in this changelessness, in this peace within, in the center, you recognize, oh, this changelessness is not just here, but is in him also, in her also, in him also, in her also. Oh, everybody is the same. Yeah. He or she is a reflection of I. There is no difference here and there is no difference there. Everything is the same consciousness. Yeah. Ashtavakra gave you such beautiful examples, no? Either you see everything as earrings, bangles, necklace, yeah, or whatever, pile, or you just look at all the ornaments and say this is gold. Yeah, all this is gold. Like that only, we are all the same consciousness. We may have different external forms. This form is called Ekta, that form is Christina, that is Rishi, that one is Mridula, that one is Niti. But these are all external forms. Yeah? Within, we are all made of the same thing, the same stuff. Yeah? And that stuff is nothing but the consciousness or God. Yes? So that brings us to Ashtavakra number 7. Yeah? Everything is God. When everything is God, why can't I see it?
That is required.
What is required? A skill is required. Just like if I give everybody a piano and tell you, come on, start playing. Yeah, my God, there's going to be noise, no? Yeah, okay, I tell you to take the piano home, practice for 1 year, meet me after a year. Yeah, in a year, somebody can become a fantastic pianist. And still some people could be playing noise. Right? Yeah? It depends on you. Right? A skill is required. How much ever I train all of you together in chords and scales, still everybody has their own way of understanding it. Yeah? Kutaschit kaushalar eva paramatma vilokyate. With some skill, you will find God. Yeah? And if I cannot see God, it is because in my mind there is a conflict. Conflict means two, dvandva. And what is that dvandva? I and you. I see two. Till the time there is two, yeah, there is conflict. And till the time I see two, I see I and you, I will never be able to see the consciousness. Yeah? The day I drop this two, this dvandva is dropped. Yeah? I see the same consciousness that is here is in him, in her, in him. Yeah? So, that is Ashtavakra number 8. Rejoice in self, devoid of this conflict. Yeah, now, the mind has been used to conflict for so many lifetimes. Huh? I have been used to I am different and you are different. Yes, and I am like this and you are like this. The mind has been used to this, no? Yeah, it's going to take some time to unlearn what I had learned. Yeah, it's a process of unlearning now. Yeah, recognize this. So, I unlearn all this I and you, the wrong things that I had learned. Yeah, I drop this. It will take some time. Again the I and you will come up because the ego exists and the ego has been used to it. Again I drop. Again it will come up. Again I drop. This has to be a constant practice. Yes, have you noticed in your journey up till Ashtavakra 24, you dropped, again things came up, again you dropped, again they came up. Yes, and with the same people, the same exact situation. You promised yourself, no, I'm not going to get angry again on this thing. This is so stupid of me. This is so silly. You promise yourself, for a week you're fine, second week you're fine, third week you're struggling, by the end of the month, back to square one. Yeah, that's because the ego cannot let go. Yeah, it likes its false identity. I am something. Yeah, you have to win over the ego. You have to recognize I am not this body, I am not this mind, I am not the intellect, I am not the ego even. I am the self. When you establish in this understanding, then these chota small little mind, intellect, ego, memory that keep coming up and expressing their identity, they will fall off. You have to get established in the self. Yeah? That is rejoice in self. Ashtavakra number 8. Devoid of conflict. Yeah? Conflict is dvandva. Yeah. So till Ashtavakra 8, it's clear? Yeah? Rejoice in the self, devoid of conflict. Conflict is because of ego. Yeah? That brings us to Ashtavakra 9. Ego dissolves in love. Yeah? If all this conflict is because of ego, what do I do with ego? Yeah? Only love can take away this ego. What is love? Is it the love between husband and wife and mother and child? No, this recognition that we are all made up of that consciousness. We are all made up of that one stuff. That is love. Yeah, we are made up of a stuff called love. This love for husband, wife, child, friend, this is just a little reflection of that love, that supreme love. Yeah? The sun loves you, the moon loves you, that's why they go all around you giving you light. Yeah? The sky loves you, it showers you with rain, with water. Nature loves you. That's why it throws flowers on you. Yeah. Everything in this creation is love. Yeah. You have to just twist your eyes a little and see. Everything is love. Yeah. And when you see everything is love and everybody is the same consciousness, yeah, everybody is that love, then this ego dissolves. This I, it drops off. Yeah? When Janaka realized this, he bowed down to himself. Yeah, you remember? Namo Mahyam. Yeah? He bowed down to himself. He said, oh, I am that love. I am that consciousness. Wow. Yes. It's such a beautiful feeling. And when ego dissolves in this love, no more storms come up. Storms are only because of ego. Yeah? Emotions are what? I wanted this and you did not give me this. That is why I get into one emotion. Yeah? Or I did not want this and you did this to me. I get into another emotion. It's all I. Recognize this. All storms of emotions are because of I. Yeah? And that you could be either a person or a situation, or it could be God. Oh, God did this to me. Yeah? Finally, there is a me, I. Yeah? So, he says storms will come. Recognize this. Again, storms are nothing but the play of these elements. Yeah? So, when storms come, he gave you a 5-point rule. What was it? Who remembers? 1.
Be aware of all your thoughts and feelings and emotions.
Huh.
Always.
Be aware of the storm. First of all, I'm not aware only what is happening inside me. Yeah, I suddenly start reacting, and when I react, I realize, oh, for the longest time there has been a volcano going on inside me. Today I have really exploded. Some people might not explode really, might not say something, but inside they have exploded. Yeah, that is also an explosion. But that person was not aware that for the longest time there was a little spark, and suddenly today it's become a fire. Yes? So, 1, become aware of your own self, your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own emotions, and constantly being aware. It's a constant practice. You cannot say, okay, now I'm aware, it's done. No. Moment to moment to moment to moment to moment to moment to moment. Forever. Into infinity. Yes? All the time being aware. That is the first step. Second step?
Stop regretting about storm and stop judging.
Stop regretting. It's done. It's the past. Can you do anything about it? Mind goes on and on and on. If I had done this, if I didn't do this, oh, if she didn't say this, yeah, blah, 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 blah. This increases the storm. Have you noticed? Yeah, it's like the pool is muddy, you are going and stirring it. Obviously, it's going to get even more muddy. Yeah? So, wake up to this. Yeah? Stop regretting. This judgment, this crying, all this falls into the second point. The second point rule. Yeah? What is the third point?
I agree to experience the storm.
Just be with it. Yeah? The thing is, we want to run away. No, I don't want to experience this. And because I don't want to experience this, I am trying all hook and crook to get out of this situation. And because I'm trying that hook and crook and this and that, I get lost in raga and dvesha and create more agami karma. Not necessarily your agami karma is going to come to you next lifetime. Your agami karma could come in the next half hour. Could only increase your fire. Are you seeing this? Yeah? So recognize this very important aspect. Agree to be with it. Okay, I am in fire right now and I have to bake through it. It is my own creation. There is no other God sitting up there in the clouds that has thrown this on me. No. I have called this upon myself because of my past karma. Yeah? Go through it, get done with it, wash your hands, move on. Yeah? Because the more I get angry and agitated, I will throw out seeds. And those seeds are going to sprout. Maybe in the next half hour, 1 hour, 10 hours, tomorrow, day after, or maybe few years or next lifetime. But they will sprout. Yes? So it is completely my responsibility that this storm has come my way. It is my responsibility that I deal with it without creating agami karma. Clear? Agree to be with the storm. Fourth. What's the fourth point?
It's the fact that storm come and go.
This is the nature of life. Yes, it is going to happen. How much ever I say that, oh, I am the best person in the world, I don't do anything wrong, so nothing should happen in my life? No. Elements, you are forgetting the play of elements. Yes, this is going to happen. Yeah? Fire will come up, air will come up, air will become wind, There will be a cyclone. It is bound to happen. Yeah? And it is very complicated to understand beyond a point how this is happening, why this is happening. Gahana karmano gati. Unfathomable are the ways of karma. Yes, recognize this. It is the nature. This is the way it is. And point number 5. I am bigger than the storm. Till the time I am lost in the mind, the intellect, the memory, the ego, these elements will dominate on me because I am lost in doership. The day I drop my association with the mind and the body and the memory and ego and intellect, and I recognize I am the self, and the self does not do anything. It is just a witness to everything that is happening. That aspect in me that does not change. It has always been witnessing, whether I was a baby, I was a young child, when I grew up and became a teenager, when I went to college, when I got married, when I had children, when I became an old person. Throughout there was this something within me which was just a witness, which was not doing anything. And that is what I am. When I get established in that, yes, I become so strong. I recognize I am bigger than these storms. These are only small little things that are happening at the periphery, at the surface level. But I am the deep blue ocean, very calm and quiet at the bottom. In its depth, I am very calm and very silent. I am untouched by the waves. The waves are only at the surface level on the top. Yeah? When you recognize this, yeah, you are out of that storm immediately. Yes. That is Ashtavakra number 10, storm of emotions. Recognize this. This storm is only because of I, that big ego. Yeah? Because I do not want to identify with love or that consciousness that I and everybody else is. So there is no I and you really. It is just love. Yes? That is Ashtavakra number 11. Which tells you, drop this taking. Only when there is I and you, I will want to take something from you, no? Yes? So how do I start? I start with dropping this tendency of give me, give me, give me, give me. Yeah? You're like a beggar right now. Your hands are like this. Give, 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 give. Give me appreciation, give me love, give me name, give me fame, give me money. All the times hands are like this. You're a beggar right now. Drop this, he says. Drop this, turn this hands around. Instead of taking, give. Yeah, give everything. Take nothing. Ashtavakra number 11. Yeah. Then you will realize, oh, I am bigger than what I thought I was. Till the time your hands are like this, you are at the receiving end. And till the time you are at the receiving end, you will not feel powerful. You will always be weak. So drop this, he says. Reverse this. Completely reverse. Whatever you have. Yeah, you cannot say, oh, I'm very poor, what can I give? Nobody's asking you to give money. Give love. Give compassion. Give knowledge. This jnana is so amazing. Give knowledge. Yeah. Oh, I'm very old, I can't even give knowledge, I can't do anything. At least give a smile and give blessings. Even if you're 80 years old, sit there and smile and give blessings and just give love. That is also sufficient. But give. Drop this tendency of taking. This makes you a beggar. Yeah? And this tendency of taking brings that I up. And that I only wants. This wanting is nothing but raga. And raga is nothing but being a beggar. Stop begging. Yeah? That is the real crux of Ashtavakra 11. Yeah? Do not be a Vanijya. Vanijya is a businessman, no? Yeah? You give me this, then I'll give you this. Total Vanijyagiri. Yeah? Total businessman. Yeah? Ashtavakra says, how can you be interested in wanting and taking and accumulating stuff? You just do not recognize that everything is consciousness. What are you accumulating? You are that. You are running after money. Recognize it that money, those notes or those numbers in your bank is also nothing but the consciousness. This inherent thirst is not for that numbers in the bank or that money. That inherent thirst is for that peace, that consciousness that you are. Recognize that you are already that. So I am that. You are the consciousness. Then this thirst for things, for acquiring this, acquiring that, this will drop. Yeah. Recognize if you still have this thirst. It's been a long way for you. Recognize if you still have this thirst. So give everything, take nothing.
I have a question about, we say that the poor Vanijas go down the storm condition. Somehow that's supposed to die 10 and 11. I don't really get that part.
That the Vanijya's boat will drown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, if you keep looking for things, I want this, I want this, I want this. The mind is a bottomless pot. It's never going to be satisfied. So basically at the end, how much ever you accumulate, you become a millionaire, billionaire, have 10 wives. Yeah, have all the beautiful things in the world. Still your mind is going to be a bottomless pot. And you will never ever find the peace. That is the meaning of your boat has drowned. You wasted so many lifetimes and so much effort in acquiring and accumulating things and people and situations, thinking that is where my peace is. And you don't get that peace also. Your boat has drowned. Got it?
We realize that your boat has drowned during the storm of emotion.
Okay, it's not related to only the storm of emotions. Realize this. The poor merchant who is in this begging mode, his boat always drowns because he can never meet that love that he is, the consciousness that he is. Yeah? His thirst is never quenched. And this thirst doesn't get quenched. Why? Ashtavakra number 12. Nature of the mind. What is the nature of the mind? It is caught up in 4 things. What are those 4 things? Who remembers?
Sex, feeling of mindness,
Huh.
desire, and fear.
Perfect. Yeah. The mind is constantly caught up in these 4. Yeah. Either it is lost in sex, mental sex, or whatever, physical, or at a divine level. Yeah, graduate, he says, from this physical wanting to be with some other Prakriti to the Purusha level. Yes, we've done Prakriti and Purusha, no? So when you graduate from Prakriti to Purusha, you're moving from the physical sex to the sex of the soul. Yeah, the divine sex. Yeah, that is the meaning of the sex of the soul, or the divine sex, yeah, supreme sex. So he's saying your mind is stuck in physical or mental sex, or it is stuck in fear of losing something, yeah, or it is stuck in I and mine. I want this is mine, yeah, and then I don't want to lose that mine, so again fear comes up there also. Then in desire, I want this thing, I want to achieve this, yeah, I don't want this is also a desire. Yeah, I don't want poverty, or I don't want a bad name is a desire. Yeah, this also brings up fear. Are you seeing this? They are all interconnected, and they are all the nature of the mind. Till the time I am lost in the mind and thinking I am the mind, I am going to be stuck in sex, mindness, fear or desire. Yeah, because I have identified with the mind, no? I have forgotten that I am the self. And that is why my boat keeps drowning. Yeah, the day I recognize I am not this mind, I separate myself from the mind. Yeah, I get established in the self. Yeah, then a flowering happens within me. Yes. So he says, understand this is the nature of the mind. Yeah. And then don't start beating yourself up again. Oh, I am like this, I did this, I am like that. That's what we do, no? So what did he say? What should we do? Who remembers? What is the main sutra of Ashtavakra 12?
Drop the fear.
And
Turn it into wonder.
wonder. Do not question this. Oh, why is my mind stuck in sex? Why is my mind stuck in fear? Why is my mind stuck in desire? Yeah, this is where I start feeling guilty, na? At the why. Why am I doing this? He says, just wonder. Oh, I have done 24 Ashtavakras, still I am stuck in this desire. Oh, look at this. I had identified myself with the mind. Wonder. Turn every question to wonder. Turn every question to wonder. Yes. This wonder will bring you out of that state of poor me, why am I like this, that self-pity, yeah, or beating myself up. It will bring you out of that negative state towards a positive state. Automatically these negativities will drop. You don't have to identify with them. Huh? Don't start labeling yourself, oh, I am an angry person, or I desire a lot, or I am a very fearful person. Big label I have put across myself. Now I am holding on to the label. Ashtavakra didn't tell you these things so that you hold on to them. Ashtavakra told you these things to become aware and drop them. Yeah? Complete the process. Don't get stuck on the way. Yeah? So, recognize this is the nature of my mind and let go. Drop. Just wonder. Oh, I still am so fearful. How funny is that? Laugh at your own self. The fear will drop. Laugh at your own desire. The desire will drop. Yeah? That brings us to Ashtavakra 13. That fear is required. Yeah, little bit of fear was given to you to be careful. But you have made fear a big thing in your life now. Anything you acquire or achieve, one little raga for a person. Yeah, this person becomes my best friend and then becomes whatever, my relationship. Now I have fear of losing this relationship. I've seen this. One little raga for a thing, I possess this thing, now I have fear of losing this thing. Yeah? Every little raga of mine leads to fear. Now, observe this tendency of the mind. Yeah? I have made fear an entree. It should just be like a pinch. Then only is your food going to be tasty. Yeah, there is your whole life will become fearful. Yeah, and it's crazy to live like that. Yeah, so recognize this. Fear should just be like salt. That's it, just enough. Yeah, and if fear arises, just wonder at it. Now fear could be of different types also. In yogis, the highest kind of fear is fear of liberation even. Yeah, we've talked about this before in detail, right? Yeah, because it is unknown. So that would be your last fear. Even after you give up all fear for all people, situations, things, even when you get over the fear of this body dying, that one fear is there. You know, the fear of liberation. This little fear is actually in all of us. That is what prevents us from going into very deep meditation. The mind cannot handle it. Have you noticed? You're meditating, you're going deep, 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 deep within, and the mind cannot handle it. The mind wants to exist and just pulls you out. Have you noticed? This is the fear of liberation. We all have it. We're just not aware that it's there. The mind.
How to get over it?
The mind is very, very afraid of becoming the no mind. It does not wants to lose its identity. This means that the mind has a strong hold on you still. Yeah? That means I have identified with this mind. I still think I am the mind. I have to become so strong that I drop this identification with the mind. Mind is just a tool. I use it when I require it. After that, I put the tool in its wardrobe and it shuts up. Have you come to that stage yet? No. That means the mind is still like the master. Work on that. Letting go of the ragas and dveshas of the mind. The day the mind loses its identity, yeah, and you become established in the self, that day your meditation will be absolutely peaceful. And it's the sweetest thing to taste. It's sweeter than honey and sugar also. There is no peace compared to that peace. Nothing. If you really have to be ambitious in life and desire for something, desire for this at least. Start here. Yeah. Drop all these silly little ragas and dveshas for people, situations and things. You're lost. All these strings are there attached. And with all these strings, I am trying to meditate. But there's so many strings pulling at me. I have not worked on de-stringing myself. Are you seeing what I'm saying? First cut off these strings. Then only can you become free of this that can pull you. Then you can go deep within. Yeah, and these strings are nothing but your raga and dvesha. I want and I don't want. I like and I don't like. This is the way it should be. This is not the way it should be. All concepts, ideas, everything is all raga and dvesha. Clear? Yeah. And all this is nothing but conflict within you. Yes? Ashtavakra 14, drop all conflicts. Yeah? Because of all these strings in my head, no, of raga and dvesha, of people, situations and things pulling at me, my life has become a war. Yeah, I am getting tugged and pulled by my own raga and dvesha. Doesn't this happen? Your own raga is pulling you from one side, another dvesha is pulling you from the other side, again raga is pulling from one side, and you're constantly battling between this. Constant. Recognize this. I have given too much leeway to the mind. Too much. Yeah. This life is a game, not a war. Till the time you are going to keep fighting with yourself, you will not attain peace. You cannot attain peace. Because war is the opposite of peace, guys. Yeah. So drop this war. Become peaceful. Play it like a game. If you were to play a game with a little kid, how would you play? Do you have this competition, I have to win? No, you let that little kid play and win. Yeah, you win. You run faster. Right? There is so much joy in that giving. That joy is not in winning. Recognize this. Understand this. Yeah. Then you will truly learn to live life. Yeah, right now you're just struggling. Drop this struggle. Life is not a competition. We are not all running a race. Now I get more money than you, I get more fame than you. This is what we have made life, really. I have a more beautiful wife than your wife. What rubbish people get into. I have watched more TV than you have watched. I have more apps on my phone than you have. Nonsense. Utter rubbish. What have we made our life into? Recognize this. Yeah, recognize this. If you have to compete with another person, compete on, I have given so much joy to another person. I have given so much love. Yeah. Stop competing on these stupid, silly little things. These are the strings that are pulling at you. And these strings, till the time they keep pulling at you, you will not be able to meditate. It's not happening. So wake up. Recognize these strings of conflict. They are all inside my head only. Created by me. Yeah? Of the mind, for the mind, by the mind. Yeah? All my dvandva is mine. It is not another person's fault. So if your mind has picked up its finger to point at somebody, recognize 3 fingers are pointing back at me. Yeah? It is not somebody else. It is me. It is I. I have created this entire chaos for myself. And I am responsible. Yeah? Drop all these conflicts. Let go. It's really not a war. When these conflicts all drop away, yeah? Again you drop this identification with mind, body, intellect, memory, ego. Again you get established in the self. Again when you get established in the self, you see, oh, everything is just happening, boss. I am not doing. Why do I keep getting into this cycle? I am not the doer. Yeah, that brings us to Ashtavakra 15. Dissolving the doer. Yeah? Dissolve it again and again and again. It's going to come up again. That is why Ashtavakra keeps revisiting, I am not the doer. Have you noticed? He did it at Ashtavakra 4 and then he again comes to it at Ashtavakra 15. Yeah? I am not the doer. Everything is happening. Become a witness, a sakshi to everything that is happening. Yeah? be a Sakshi and get established in the Sakshi Bhavana. Enough lessons Ashtavakra has given us, enough times he has repeated now. Now start getting established. Dissolve. Yeah? And he says 5 times dissolve for the 5 senses. Yeah? Dissolve, 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 dissolve. Means let go, drop this. This craving for the sense of sight, this craving for sense of sound. Sound is not just music, words. Oh, you say I love you to me. Oh, you say I am a good person. Oh, you pat on my back. Oh, you say I am such a good person. Sense of sound. Dissolve. Doesn't matter. I am not going to die without your words. Yeah. Dissolve. Sense of touch. It's okay if I don't get sex. It's not the end of the world. Yeah. Dissolve. Yeah. Let go. Everything, just let go. Everything that bugs you, bothers you, is your bondage that grips you, makes you feverish. Drop everything. Just be. Yeah, just be. This is dissolving the doership. I am not there. It is all happening. And then Janaka asks, okay, great, this is so beautiful. Yeah. I don't even have to dissolve. I am already dissolved. Yeah. Ashtavakra is so lucky to have a disciple like Janaka. Ashtavakra had to just say dissolve and Janaka had already dissolved. Yeah. But Ashtavakra continues for us. He says, how to dissolve now? Ashtavakra 16. 3 types of purity. Yeah? Purity of body, speech and mind. Yeah? These will help you to start dissolving that doership. Yeah? Purity of body is not just in having a bath at the right time, keeping yourself clean. Yeah? What is purity of the body? What's purity of the body?
Eat right.
Listening
Listen to what the body says.
to my body. Yeah, my body signals to me. It's not just about food, That was one example given to you. Your body also signals to you, oh, I'm feeling dirty. Oh, I don't like this environment. Yeah. Sometimes the body signals to you that I really need to have a cool water shower. But you will still go and have a hot water shower. Why? Because you are not listening to the body, you are listening to the mind. The mind says, no, I like warm water shower. Right? How many of you do that? Because we identify with the mind. Yeah? It's summer now, guys. Take this up as a homework. Cold water showers every day and see how rejuvenated the body feels. Yeah? You'll wake up and you'll be like fresh for really long time. Yeah? If you come to my house, no, the hot water heater is always on vacation. You will not have hot water even in the hot water tap. Yeah? Do that. Go down to your basement, turn it to vacation. Yeah? And enjoy your summer. Let the body enjoy what it naturally is. This is earth element. Yes? This earth element thirsts for the water element. It's a natural thirst. Yeah, your skin or your kaya thirsts for water element. And water element at its normal temperature. Not after adding fire to it. Hot water is fire plus water. The earth element becomes dry with fire. It does not want fire. It wants just water. Are you seeing this? It's a natural thing. That's the design. No, but your mind wants warm water. Yeah? The mind wants fire. Recognize this thing. This is so essential. Yeah? So, purity of the body. Listening to this body.
Ektaji, that happens in the Bangalore ashram during Navratri. The hot water invariably is turned off. Not in the morning, it's always a cold shower in the ashram.
Good, good. Now make that your home. Make your home an ashram. Yes. So, purity of the body and purity of speech. Watching what I say. Every little word. Everything that comes out of these lips, it should be required. Yeah, it should not be hot air. What is hot air? You understand this phrase, hot air? Some people just go on talking to make conversation. Rubbish, utter rubbish they will talk. Yak, 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 yak. Unnecessary talking, it's not required. Other people in the room are not even listening, their ears are shut off most of the times. But you keep talking. Yeah? You've not maintained the purity of speech. Speak only if required, otherwise keep silent. Yeah? Answer a question only if somebody has asked the question. Give advice only if somebody has asked for it. You don't go on unnecessary throwing advice. People don't care for your advice anymore. It's not valued and you're not respected anymore. Yeah? Make your words extremely expensive. Yeah? Let somebody come and ask, then I will speak. If it is required in the situation, I will speak, otherwise I will keep silent. Yes, this is purity of speech. And I will not say a word that will cause turbulence in another person's mind. Remember this? This is the vow we have to take for Ashtavakra. Even to listen to Ashtavakra. Yeah, purity of speech. And purity of mind. Maintaining the pleasantness of this mind. Is your mind always pleasant? Or is it bitter? Is it cribbing about something? Yeah? Recognize this tendency. Watch your mind all the time. All the time observing this mind is maintaining the purity of the mind. Yeah. So now how to do this? He gave you 11 techniques. Who remembers the 11 techniques? No? Technique number 1, Neelkantha. Whatever you have to say, when you have to criticize only from the throat, not from the heart. You remember this? Yeah, Neelkantha. Second, Asangoham. Sangha is association or company with other people. Asango, devoid of associations. Yeah? Impure emotions in me come up because of my impure association with another person or an impure thing. Yeah? Your association with watching some weird kind of serials on TV can give you that impression. If you keep watching horror films, have you noticed you keep having a lot of fear? Yeah? You think, oh, there is somebody behind that door standing there. Just because I've watched a lot of horror films, this impression sits in my mind and becomes my company, Sangha. Yeah? Asangoham is becoming devoid of this company of a wrong company, whatever. This is the second technique. Third, na kartasi, na bhoktasi. I am not the doer. Very good, you remember. I am not the doer and I am not the experiencer even. I am that stable consciousness that is just witnessing everything that is happening. Everything is happening to the body-mind complex on account of karma. Yes, I am not the doer, I am not the experiencer. Na kartasi, na bhoktasi. What was the fourth one?
All the feelings are like bubbles on the water.
Taranga phena budbuda. Tarang is a wave. Phena is the foam. Budbuda is the bubble. There is no difference between a wave, the foam in the water, or the bubble in water. Everything is the same. All of it is the water. Taranga phena budbuda. What is the fifth one?
Tapas.
Tapas is what? Going through
Hard work.
like a cold water shower. Yeah? Willingly going through something that will, in the end, be good for me. It's something sattvic. Yeah? You have to go through that burning. You have that tendency to say something to somebody. Yeah, because I'm so used to being hot air and just talking unnecessarily, yak. To stop myself. This is tapas. Yeah? The ego will come up, will want to say, will want to show off because that's the tendency. Yeah? But stopping myself and having that centeredness is tapas. Got it? Yeah? Tapas is the fifth one. Sixth.
Pragya.
Pragyaprad is
Being on this path and knowingly repeating the steps.
Aparad is a crime. Pragya is awareness. Yeah, it's a crime of the awareness. You know you should not do this, but knowingly you do it. Yeah, this is pragya aparad. Or I know I should do this, like doing kriya, doing meditation, but I am not doing it. This is also pragya aparad. Yeah, this is number 6. 7.
Be happy and knowledgeable all the time.
Happy silence. Remember I had given you this homework? Yeah? Maintain a happy silence. Usually when we are silent, we become very morose and sad and our head is hanging down like this, sitting as if it's the end of the world. Yeah? And we think, oh, I'm silent. No, you're burning inside. Yeah? Recognize this. The silence is here, not just here. Yeah? And it should be with a pleasant mind. That is a happy silence. Number 7. Number 8.
I am empty like the sky and yet feel like ocean.
Reminding yourself, that this emptiness that is there, the space is empty. You cannot touch this space. It's completely hollow and empty. I am like this space. So what is this? I want this and I want that and I want this. These I'm just kind of cluttering my space. These are nothing but raga and dvesha and those strings that develop all conflict and big drama and chaos inside me. I cannot experience that solitude and peace because I am getting cluttered. You have to declutter yourself. Yeah? Be as empty as the space. I am that infinite empty space. And I am full like the ocean. Full of what? Full of joy, of love, of peace. Yeah, this is the 8th one, right? 9th.
I am nothing but I am everything.
Everything is mine or nothing is mine. You remember this? Yeah, when I am the consciousness and this thing is that consciousness and that person is that consciousness and that tree or that animal or that mosquito, everything is the same consciousness, then everything is a part of me only. Everything is mine only. Yeah? Get it? Everything is mine. These are two ways to comprehend the same reality. Yeah? Not even this body is mine. Yeah? How can some other body, a relationship be mine? Yeah? When this body is not mine, how can he or she be mine? How can this thing that I want to possess be mine? Nothing is mine. Yeah? I am the same consciousness that is pervading in everyone and everything. This is the 9th one. 10th.
I am the consciousness.
It is one consciousness. Yes, it is one consciousness, but I cannot see it. It's all Maya. This one consciousness has become a tree, this one consciousness has become a mosquito, this one consciousness has become a person. So it's so difficult for me to see, oh, this is the same consciousness, but actually it is one. Yeah? And I cannot see it because it is Indrajal. Yeah? So that is the 10th one. Recognizing all this is just an Indrajal. And 11th technique, last technique.
There is nothing that is yours.
What is there to accept or reject? Mama katham kutra hyopadaya. Yeah? It is all a kalpana. This is all an idea in my mind. There is nothing to accept or reject. There is no need of any raga or dvesha in simpler words. Yeah? Because all this is the same consciousness. These are the 11 techniques he gave you. Yeah? With these 11 techniques, you can attain the purity of body, purity of speech, and purity of mind. And you will be able to drop this bondage with people, situations, and things. Yeah? That takes you directly into Ashtavakra 17. What was Ashtavakra 17? Honoring the secret. Here. Yeah? You will be able to drop the bondage only when you recognize that, oh, yeah, this bondage was just an illusion in the mind. I'm actually free. You remember he gave you that example. A prisoner sitting behind bars feels that he is bound. But if somebody just closes the doors of his room and just sits by himself, confined to a room, he does not feel that bondage. Right? Yeah? So, where is bondage and freedom? In my head. Are you seeing this? So he says, drop this. Recognize it is a figment of my own imagination and drop it. Let go. And that will happen by 5 techniques again. What are the 5 techniques?
First one is dissolving the I.
This I. You drop it. Dissolve. Let go. We've spoken enough of that, right? About the I. Second,
Honoring the secret. That everything is one of the thing.
That everything is love. Everything is consciousness. I cannot see it right now. Yeah, I am lost in this Indrajal, in this Maya, I understand, but I honor this. Yeah, I know it is a secret, that is why it is not visible to me right now. But I honor it and I have full faith, I have Shraddha. Yeah, so honoring the secret goes along with faith. Otherwise doubt comes up, no? You start doubting Guruji, you start doubting the technique, or you start doubting everything. Oh, I am only bad. You start doubting your own self. Yeah? So turning the doubt to faith, Shraddha. Yeah? And honoring that I will get there. Right now I am not there, but I will get there. Yeah? That's the second technique. What's the third one? Tyaga. Tyaga of what? Surrendering what? All that has happened in my past. I dropped, I let go. I am holding on to the past like this. So tight, and I say, oh, I am stressed, I am so worried, I am so unhappy. Arey, drop! You're holding on to the past yourself. Oh no, he did this to me, she did this to me. Arey, drop! You have to learn to drop. You have to learn to let go of your bondage. You are holding on to the bondage. Bondage is not holding on to you. Wake up, my dear. Wake up. Yeah, so tyaga, surrendering the past, dropping the past, and cultivating contentment. That is the fourth technique. Tosha, being with what is contentment. Yeah, it's okay. This is the way it is. It's okay. Make this the mantra of your life. What is the fifth technique? Guys, it is right here. Vairagya. Dispassion. Yeah. Till the time I have not cultivated dispassion towards people, situations and things, I cannot drop the bondage. Yes. I have to become dispassionate about people, situations and things that haunt me like this. Yes. Then only can I drop this bondage. Then only can I let go of this. Yes. That is Ashtavakra number 17. Yeah, honoring the secret. And these are the 5 techniques that will help you drop the bondage, help you recognize that it is only a making of my own mind. Yeah. When you drop this bondage and are in Vairagya, total dispassion, then only can you be happy. Ashtavakra number 18. Yeah. Vairagya towards what? Towards what? Tell me.
Vasanas.
Towards all vasanas. What is a vasana? My little craving for one person. Yeah, first time I meet that person. Yeah, I like him or like her. It creates a little impression in the mind. Yeah, it's not even visible the first time. Yes, then I want to be with this person. Yeah, and I do all kinds of jugaad to be with the person. Yeah, that emotion behind it, making all this jugaad to be with that person, increases this impression. Yes, and then I become feverish and attached and I want to be with him or her. But that person is not feeling the same towards me. That person wants to be with another person, This increases my feverishness or my jealousy. Yeah, brings in jealousy, brings in possessiveness, and this impression goes on increasing. Yes. Every person, every situation and every little thing in your life creates impressions like this. They are vasanas. Do you get it? Vasana means an impression of my raga or dvesha with people, situations and things. Yeah? Vasana evam sansara. This entire samsara, this entire world is nothing but vasanas. Yeah? Now you have the same vasanas. You have a little bag full of vasanas and it's the same vasanas you have. You will have only those 15, 20, 30 people in your life. And you have vasanas and impressions with the same 20-30 people till you are 100 years old and you kick the bucket and go. You will have the same interests, same things that you will keep doing all your life. This is because of a vasana. If you eat pizza, you'll just keep eating the same pizza. You won't even try a paratha. Yeah? That is because of a vasana. Vasana is nothing but an impression, a memory. Yeah? Understand this second aspect also. It's a memory. An impression in the mind creates a memory of something that I did. And now I remember the emotion associated with that memory. And I want to repeat that, or I want to experience the same thing. That is why I repeat the same thing. This impression is a vasana. Got it? Yeah? I have the same vasanas with the same people, with the same things and with the same situations. This entire samsara is vasanas. Yeah? When I recognize this and I drop, I become nirvasana. Yeah? So in Ashtavakra 18, it's right up here. He tells you, you become nirvasana. You drop all these vasanas with people, situations and things. And he gave you many techniques. Who remembers? No? I have a particular vasana. This particular vasana is only with those few people in my life. So he says, expand your circle. Make new friends. Meet new people. Yeah? If you do only those 3 or 4 things, yeah, just going to the gym and just talking to the husband or wife and just watching TV, expand your hobbies. Remember? Yeah, he says expand your world, expand the situations, so that I don't keep making the same stronger impressions. Yeah, they will get divided, the impressions, and the more I learn to let go of the raga and dvesha, these impressions will not even be so strong. Yes, it's better to have 100 lighter impressions than to have 2 or 3 extremely strong impressions. Are you getting it? So it's easier to let go of these lighter impressions with knowledge. Yeah? So expand your world. And he gave you many more examples. Yeah? Do the opposite of what you like to do. You like to have a warm water bath, from tomorrow morning only cold water showers. Yes? Yeah? Do the opposite of what you like to do. So this takes away that impression. That impression is not so strong. It becomes so light that you cannot even see it probably on the board here. You see what he's saying? Yeah, very beautiful. Ashtavakra was the scientist of the mind, I say. Yeah, he's actually given you these techniques. Yeah. So get out of these vasanas. Yeah. Expand. Move out of it. Yeah. Become nirvasana. This was Ashtavakra number 18. Yeah. To become nirvasana, he also says that move away from the same material things and move your mind towards the divine. Yeah, because that's something we had never done. The mind was not exposed to the divine, not exposed to spirituality. Yeah, the moment it goes away from what it was doing, all these material things, talking to the wife, husband, doing this activity, doing that same activity, rather than devoting time there, I have devoted time to something spiritual. Yeah, I have lightened the intensity of these existing impressions. Yeah, and in spirituality, the mind goes to no mind. That state of no mind helps wipe away these impressions. Yeah? You come to the mind of a devotee, yeah? Where you fall in love with this consciousness, with everything. That brings us to Ashtavakra 19. Without you, where will I be? As in, he is not telling for a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a wife or a husband. He is saying this for the consciousness. Yeah? Without you, where will I be? Yeah? I would have not existed only, no? It was the consciousness which broke out into Prakriti and Purusha. I am nothing but that Prakriti. Yeah? I am lost in this Maya. One day I will unite back with that consciousness. न था कुछ तो खुदा था, कुछ ना होता तो खुदा होता, डुबोया मुझको होने ने, न होता मैं तो क्या होता. It's a very old song. Yeah, when there was nothing, there was only God. If there were to be nothing now, it would just be gone. I have got drowned because of I. Hone ne. Yeah, the hone is the ego, I. Yeah. If I was not there, then only God would have been there. Yeah. This is a poem from a devotee's heart. There can only be one. There cannot be two. Yeah. The path of love is very narrow. It cannot accommodate two. There can only be one. Yeah. And that one is you. Without you, where will I be? There's a Kabir ka doha also. प्रेम गली अति साकरी, तामे दो न समाए. The path of love is very, very narrow. In that, two cannot be there. Only one is there. And that one is the consciousness, the God. Yeah? The self, the Purusha that I am. Yeah? So this two of I and you cannot exist. Drop this division of I, you. This is what creates the problem. When you drop this, there is just consciousness. I am that. Soham asmi. Yeah? So in Ashtavakra 19, he says, all your life you have done I, you. You have done actions through this body, through this speech and through this mind. And all these actions are only dividing I and you. Drop this. Yeah? And now at least rest. Uparamyatam. Rest. Relax in what you are. That self, that consciousness, that nothingness that you are. Yeah? That takes us directly into Ashtavakra 20. Repose in the being. That self, that consciousness is nothing but the being. The being is the Purusha. This Purusha took on some Prakriti. When it took on Prakriti, it was made of certain aspects. What are those aspects? Tell me. What is this? 5 plus 7 plus 3 plus 3 is equal to 8. Who understands this equation? Yeah? So, Pancha Mahabhutas, the 5 elements, the 7 dhatus, yeah? Muscles, blood, plasma, yeah? Shukra Virya, which is the reproductive fluid, yeah? The bone marrow, yeah? And Rasarakta, Asthi, bones and blood. So these 7 are the dhatus. 3 gunas you know, Rajas, Tamas and Sattva. Yeah? And 3 doshas, Vata, Pitta and Kapha. Yeah? And 8 are the Prakritis. When all these combine, they form 8 Prakritis. The mind, the intellect, the ego, yeah? And the 5 elements. Earth, water, fire, ether, air. Yeah? These are 8 Prakritis. All this is a part of Prakriti. But I am that Purusha, the being. I have identified with this Prakriti. I have got lost in this Prakriti. Yeah? That's why I have taken on all vikaras. What are vikaras? Flaws. Because I have identified, no? At a time I will identify with one thing. If I see fire dominating, I identify only with fire. I say, oh, I am angry. Got it? Yeah, if I see earth dominating, I identify with earth. I say, oh, I am a lazy and depressed person. But I am not all these elements. Recognize this. I am that Purusha. Yeah? This Prakriti is just an external wrapping paper. The gift is inside. Stop being stuck on this wrapping paper. I know it's very beautiful and sparkly and red and green and blue, beautiful colors, but open the gift. Yeah, it is the being that you are. Repose in the being. You are nirvikar. You are flawless. Yeah, and you are Ishwar Nirmata. As in, God has created everything. This consciousness, this Purusha and Prakriti, both are that creation of the Brahman. Yeah, very beautiful sutra is there in this. Ishwar Sarva Nirmata. Nihanyati Nishchay. God has created everything. Yes, it is definitely like that. And in no other way it can be. Yeah. So you are flawless. You are a reflection of that God. You are the Purusha. Yeah? When you recognize this truth, then Antargalita Sarvasha. Asha, all desires. Raga and Dvesha both are nothing but a desire. Antargalita Sarvasha. All these desires will just melt away. Inside only. When you recognize that you are that consciousness, that self, the being. Shanta kvapena satchate. And you will just rest in the peace that you are. Yeah. So he says, all this negativity is something I have harbored. I have to let go of the negativity. That's all. Negativity is not covering me or holding on to me. I am holding on to it. I have to let go. I will become nirvikara. I have to let go, and all these ashas, as in raga, dvesha, will dissolve. Yeah. And how am I holding on to all this? By thought. Yeah, the next Ashtavakra is letting go of worry, but literal translation from Sanskrit is letting go of thought. Chintaya jayate dukkham. Yeah, means dukkha is caused by thinking, by thought itself. Yeah, and worry is nothing but a repetition of the same thought again and again and again and again. Yeah, so the root cause of the problem is thought itself. Yeah, so let go of this thinking. We think it's very normal to keep talking to myself. Yeah. Self-talk, I think, oh, inside I'm talking, okay, and this is this way, this is not this way, this is right, this is wrong. It's okay, I think this is normal. This is not normal, guys. This is a disease. If this disease gets a little pronounced, you're all going to be in a mental hospital. Wake up to this. Self-talk is not normal. Yes, the mind has made you a slave if it is talking continuously. Yeah, wake up to this. Recognize this. You recognize and drop this mind. You wake up. Yeah, self-talk is not normal. So let go. Yeah, and he gave you many examples of how you can let go of worry. Remember? Break up the words that your mind is saying. I lost my handbag. I think that was the example. Yeah, and you see, it's so funny. You keep repeating, I lost my handbag. So funny. Why am I worrying about this? Drop. It's a thought. Big deal. Yeah. Mind gets stuck onto silly little words and goes on repeating them. This is a disease, Ashtavakra says. You have to drop this disease. Nobody else, nothing else can cure it for you. You are the doctor and you are the patient. You have to cure yourself. Drop this disease of self-talk. Yeah? Actually, the title of this Ashtavakra should have been Let Go of Self-Talk. Not worry. Yeah? Expand it and see how silly it is. And he gave you many more techniques. Who remembers the techniques he gave you? Expand the worry. And?
But it's to stare into the sunset or be by the water. Be nature.
Be with nature. Yeah, that is a beautiful thing. When you are worrying a lot, you just sit near flowing water, you see your thoughts break because of the rhythm of the water. It has the same effect that the breathing has on your thought. How breath breaks the pattern of thinking. Like that, the flow of water and just staring at that flow breaks the pattern of your thought. That is why he gave you that particular technique. Yeah. Another thing is Sudarshan Kriya, he has told you. Yeah. Having faith, having Shraddha. Yeah. What silly little things I'm worried about. Yeah. Guruji will take care, or God will take care of me. Yeah. That consciousness has always taken care of me. What is there to worry? Yeah. Or if you really have to worry, so he had said, what? Worry fresh, don't worry stale. Something new, come up with something new. Yeah, worry in the future. And there's one very nice one, no? In the expand your worry. Will I get a job after 5,000 years? Something like that Guruji had said, no? Yeah, so he had given you very beautiful techniques to drop this chitter chatter, unnecessary chitter chatter of the mind. You recognize it and start working if you've still not started working on this. Yeah? Drop this self-talk. Yeah? You have started identifying with the sense of sound. Self-talk is nothing but sense of sound. Recognize this. You have identified with the sense of sound. If you're going on and on and on in your head. I am not this body. And sense of sound is related to this body, to this ear. Drop. Naham deho name deho. This was the sutra. I am not the body and this body is not mine. Yeah? Let go. Let go. When I drop worry, I become nirvikalpa. Nirvikalpa is, there is no conflict in the mind. This dvandva, I, you, right, wrong, good, bad. This is dvandva or vikalpa or conflicts. Nirvikalpa is devoid of these conflicts. Yeah? And I become pure. Yeah? Pure from within, shuchi. I become shanta, peaceful. All the desires drop away. Yeah. In fact, he had said in this one that all desires will get fulfilled. Yeah. But you cannot say, oh, now I will do this because all desires will get fulfilled. This is also desire. You have to drop this also. Yeah. You have to become shuchi, a virgin from within. And then you will see everything in life starts happening. You don't even have to wish for something. Before that, things come to you. Yeah. This wisdom is so beautiful. Yeah. It takes you to a different level when you really practice it. Yeah. When you really inculcate this in life. Yeah. So work on these things if you've still not started working, because I know self-talk is a problem for most of us. Yeah. This is something we really need to look into. That is the purpose of the Art of Silence course, no? When you go there, you're just quiet, you're just with yourself. And when you stop talking from here, yeah, this goes on for some time initially, but after a while, this also stops. Yeah, when this stops, you experience the real silence. Yeah. So let go. Let go of this unnecessary self-talk. Yeah. That only will bring you the real peace. Just by attending, it's not going to happen. Attending a number of Ashtavakra sessions. You have to practice. Yeah. That was Ashtavakra 21. Letting go of worry. And when you practice all this, you yourself just start living in amazement. Ashtavakra 22. Live in amazement. Yeah. I am lost in all these things that I have said, I have spoken, all that I have heard. When I become devoid of all these actions, things that I said, of speech, of actions, and even thoughts, even the self-talk stops. I come to a state where I am living in amazement. Nanashcharyam idam vishwam. This entire creation is amazing. And it is nothing else but amazing. Yeah. When you stop bothering about why this happened and why that did not happen and what and who and where, you just come to that witness consciousness, the Sakshi. And when that Sakshi looks at everything, it is an amazement. Yeah? The way you see the sun setting and those beautiful colors and then the golden becomes slightly orange and that orange becomes slightly dark. Yeah? The reds, the pink. Yeah? And then you see a little violet and the sun is gone. And then you just see hues of color on that sky. Do you question why the red, why the yellow, why the orange? No, there is no question. There's just amazement. You're just like, wow. Make life like that. Just be amazed at everything and everybody you come across. Every situation, wow. Amazing, man. Drop this identification with body and mind and intellect and ego memory. Again and again remind yourself, I am that Chitta Swarupa. Yeah? I am that consciousness. Nothing but the consciousness. Drop these actions with body, speech and mind and thought. Yeah? Drop. So in this Ashtavakra, Janaka said, oh, this is all naturally happening to me. Yeah? I have this natural dispassion towards talking for a long time. A natural dispassion to thinking too much. A natural dispassion to wanting to achieve something or do something in order to achieve it. Second homework for you. Has this started happening to you? This happens to every seeker on this path. Has this started happening? Yeah. Introspect a little bit. You have come pretty far. Ashtavakra 24 you have come to. Has this started happening to you yet? what also happens on this path is people might get dispassionate about these lengthy conversations and socializing and doing the things that they were doing in the world, but then they get stuck onto meditation. Yeah, they get stuck onto whatever, they're chanting, bhajans, whatever, and that again becomes another knowledge. Yeah, and that craving or that raga or dvesha causes trouble to everybody around you. Then you have just hooked onto from material to something spiritual. That also you have made an object of your sense. Recognize this. Am I doing this? Yeah. Just recognizing is enough. It will drop. Yeah, it will drop. You just get established again and again in the self, in the Purusha. Yeah. Make your heart one-pointed. Then you can live in amazement. And one-pointed means what? One-pointed on that consciousness, the self, the Purusha that I am. Not on this Prakriti which is around the Purusha. Yeah? When I am one-pointed there in the Purusha, I have learned to split the Prakriti from the Purusha. And when I have learned to split the Prakriti from the Purusha, I have learned to step into the big mind. I am not anymore lost in the small mind. That is Ashtavakra 23. Stepping into the big mind. Yes, you remember this? It was very beautiful Ashtavakra. Yeah, that split in the consciousness. Yeah, happens because I get lost in people, situations and things. Yeah, my consciousness is always lost in the world. You know, when I come back to the self, I unite, I become one. Yeah, I'm established in the self. This is called one-pointedness. This is called stepping into the big mind and stepping away from the small mind. And he gave you 5 techniques. Who remembers the 5 techniques? Quickly. Samadhi or meditation. Going deep into meditation. Experiencing Samadhi. Second?
Transforming of emotions.
I have a negative emotion. I observe it and I transform it. Next?
Satyam.
Truth. Yeah? Everything is temporary. Everything. Even this body. This body is also going to die. Reminding myself of this truth. Fourth?
Self-effort.
Sangha.
Sangha. Sangha is what? Company. Yeah. Not just practitioners, good company. Like rather than wasting 4 hours on a Sunday with TV, I spend those 4 hours watching a spiritual talk, attending a knowledge session. This is Sangha. Got it? It's not just people's company. It can be TV, it can be your phone, your Facebook, whatever you are associated with is Sangha. Got it? Yeah. So working on that Sangha. And one more technique.
Self-effort.
Seva. Yeah. Seva. When I drop this I and mine and I do something for you, I go from that begging to giving. Yeah. That again unites me with the self. Yeah. I drop this connection with only Prakriti and I'm established in the Purusha. Yeah. These were the 5 techniques for stepping into the big mind. This was like a revision. We've done all these through Ashtavakra before, right? Yeah. And now when you start looking so deeply in your mind, and when I gave you that homework also, that have you started naturally becoming a Vairagi towards speech and action and thoughts, What started happening inside? Oh, this is not happening to me. I still make mistakes. I'm still not good. Yeah? That brings us to Ashtavakra 24. What is it? Secret of mistakes. What is the secret? Mistakes are neither mine nor yours. Yeah, it is just a happening. Yes, so no guilt, yeah, no feverishness, whatever, no beating yourself up. Don't get into all that. No judgments, no accusations. Yeah, we start judging ourselves, na? No judging. And if you've seen somebody else, don't go and tell that person, what, so many days you've been doing Ashtavakra? What have you progressed? No pointing fingers also, guys. Yeah? Drop this accusations on others. Yeah? And stop judging your own self or even justifying your own mistake. You start justifying, oh, because of this I got busy with this, I'm not progressing well, or this or that. All rubbish. Drop justifying. Mistake is a mistake. I recognize this mistake and I am now established within myself. Eva mevaha astitaha. Recognizing that this was a mistake, I now just let go and I establish in the self. Yeah? That is the real sutra. All those things that I was getting lost in people, situations and things, and blaming people, saying bad things to others, not respecting others, not being sensitive towards others, seeing bad intentions behind other people's mistakes, all these negative things that were there in me, I recognize that, I let go, and I am now established in the self. Yeah? That is the secret of mistakes. And he ends that very beautifully. He had said that one who can be established in the self, eva mevaha asthitaha. Yeah? He has achieved what needs to be achieved. Yeah? He who is of such a nature has done what needs to be done. Yeah? That means you washed your hands off. If you understand this one principle, and you are just established in the self, letting go of everything that has happened by yourself or by others, you just establish in yourself, you have done all that requires to be done. That completes Ashtavakra 24. Cool? Clear? Ashtavakra 1 through 24, all clear? All good? Yes? Great job, guys. Pat yourself on the back for completing this semester and coming into the last semester. Great job. Very few people reach here. Very, very few people. Yeah, now don't pour water on your efforts. I'm telling you this. You've come a very long way. In the end, don't get lost in this Maya. All this is Maya, people, situations, things. Do not get lost in this Maya and continue till the end. Yeah? And I'll keep seeing you intermittently. Until then, Jai Gurudev.